to me. The Tsuki, that guy that talks to his phone. Dude that's weaving hand seals for some reason whenever he walks around. I don't know why I do that. I don't know how I survive. I about pass out every second because I do not sleep now. I didn't sleep for a long time. I need to go to sleep. I'm still recording this, so my head's hurting. Don't calm it down. You need some sleep. Sleep's irrelevant. And that drink was delicious. And I just drank like 4 bottles of Propel. We are now sponsored. We're not sponsored. I do drink a lot of Propel. Done with the talking. Last time we left off on this part, or last part, Bridgie was right after Deku won the sports festival. But now he's going to go on internship. It would give Deku, I would say one of the, I would say you can call him a psychic, or somebody that his father took a liking to whenever he was in the sports festival in UA, and he gave him all that stuff, gave him, and worked with them. I'll say that's who it is. It's sort of psychic, but not a psychic. Just like a fellow friend and somebody that he taught. Which we get Deku. His quirk is I want to say gravity quirk, but no, but I'll give him an elemental quirk. I'll say he's a lightning hero. Which I guess doesn't match. But he would be very good. He's a speed hero. He's like a speed type. Since his lightning was never able to go further than like a couple feet away from him, he can shoot off like a ball of discharge from his body, but nothing else but that. And his lightnings can stun people when it's not too strong. Instead, he learned how to enhance his body or his speed. So he's a speed type. And I'll say he learned how to use a blade from his father, or Deku's father, Asashi. And so, whenever he makes up with Deku, he would know how Deku's quirk works, his sword one. Since Deku only has 2 stages done, so he would try to teach him how to unlock him. So that's what the training will be. They would patrol and all that, and he would work on Deku's sword skills all the way up to the Stain event. As Deku would be running, as he heard what happened to Ito's brother, as Nomus are attacking, which Deku would use his quirk, and as he would run by them, taking them all out, was a clean swipe to their heads. With everybody learning out their heads are their weakness, and people were able to take them down quicker. Whenever he's face to face with Stain, I'd start. Deku would be faster than Stain, of course. But Stain is crazy, you could say. So he would be trying to cut him anyway. Even though Deku is better at sword skills, Stain really could not do anything against him. So Deku would just use the gravity attack, increasing the weight in the air, and would land one ball punch to his face, knocking him out. But as this happens, a Nomu would come down. This Nomu was able to talk. And this would surprise Deku, as this Nomu would meet him in the face with a punch. I would say this was a incomplete high-end Nomu. So, like, it hasn't fully adjusted to anything, and it doesn't have all its quirks. It's like just about to turn into one stage. So it's like a mid tier, but it's stronger than them. And Deku would be punched by it, launching him through the air. This one, I'll say its quirk is a bone quirk, along with a flight quirk or a float quirk. Similar to what One for All is, it's like airwalk, sort of. How he can sit there in air. And for extra measures, I'll say he has like, a laser quirk, but it shoots balls of energy. As it would be flying around, using float and propelling itself with energy. This would be punching Deku around. If Deku can't dodge it, as it would be sent to the air. As Deku would land onto a building to one fall 25%. As he would dodge to the left, so he would throw a punch into the Nomu. This would have enough wind pressure, enough force to break part of the building, which people would notice, as they would see this flying creature, along with a shining finger, which would be Deku. The Nomu's arm would be broken, but it would regenerate soon, as it would swing, punch him in the face, send him downwards, and would start throwing attacks, which Deku would look up, as he would grab his sword, as he would stomp the ground, and use the rubble around him to block it. This would be all turned to dust. Once Deku would have used this dust, as he would start swinging around, using strong attacks, destroying everything, until the Nomu would be able to get through it, losing its limbs, but using its bone quirk to cover his arms back up, which would make his arms much durable, where they don't get destroyed as easy. So he would run into Deku, socking him in the face, launching him across the city, landing into a building. So he'd be bleeding. He got up and would pull out his sword. This would mode to his arm. He would activate his ability, going into his third stage of his sword. As energy would start going over his arm, where it molded to it over his blade. So you lift it into the air, as the once bright energy that it used to be would turn dark. As he would bring it down, as he would throw it down, and would launch a devastating attack, which would run into the Nomu, splitting it in half. But since this thing has like cell regeneration, it would reform. People would see it reform on ground, with heroes and all the innocents seeing this thing. As Deku would about to get hit, as Endeavor comes in, blasting it off, hitting it. As Deku would quickly use this, as he would put up his sword again, as he would create a black energy on the tip of it into a ball, and he would throw it forward, as it would rush to it, hitting against the Nomu, as it would run into a huge orb of blackness, as it would tear apart the Nomu. With this, as the Nomu would still, this Nomu would still survive after this, reforming from its head. These Nomus have super high regeneration, or at least this one. They would fly around, so it charged towards Deku, using its bone quirk to make like a blade, as Deku would go to run at it, but he would quickly move over him, as he would be aiming for civilians anywhere. As he'd be chasing towards the little boy, as Deku would use 25% to run over there, and would grab the blade on his side through his arms, as his hand would be cut, but he would be stopping the Nomu for now, but when it activates his energy quirk to blast himself faster, it would not be able to stop him. As Deku would be shot in the side by blast. As he would grab onto this Nomu, turning off his sword quirk and activating one fall, going up the percentages into the highest that you can get, being 40% before he can feel his arms start breaking. As he would hold down the Nomu, telling Endeavor to beat it, as Deku would force it up using his leg, using 100%. So he'd slam the kick into its face, launching in the air, as Endeavor would use the move that he launched a huge fire, destroying it. As Deku would be there with his broken leg. As ambulance would come, picking up anybody injured, picking up Deku, and they would eventually find Stain and Nita, helping them out. Right now, that's where they learned that these Nomus can get even stronger. With this one having a quirk of some kind of energy beam, having such high regeneration that you have to completely incinerate it to kill it. And so, they would just learn more information on these Nomus. As Deku would go to school, his leg would be healed by Recovery Girl because he just do that like the actual hero. So she would use his quirk, or use her quirk to heal him, being perfectly new. And so, they would get back. Everybody hearing what Deku did, what happened to Ida about the Stain thing, as the news would have pictures of this Nomu thing, and see how dangerous it is. And I was saying that there would be a lot of people yelling at UA, since it seems this kid's the one constantly getting hurt, battling these things. But they can't be blamed for it since they can't do nothing about it, since he was out of UA and all that. But the media is still blaming them since they are one of the students. And yeah. So they would meet up back at school, and they would be told about the race. In the race, I'd say Deku would be able to fly. He can't really fly, but he can shoot himself through the air, like change directions at least. So he would be able to move around the thing quite fast, especially with One for All. So he's much faster than everybody else. So he would get first. And now it's them versus Zeros, Bakio, and Deku versus All Might. So it'd start. Whatever it does, Deku would get ready. And he would turn on his quirk, going into the third stage. This will be the first time everybody sees it. As Deku would get ready, as he would create 3 orbs that would revolve around one of his hands, his left one. And as they would get ready, as All Might would jump out at them. As Deku would start swinging his sword around. With All Might have to dodge because it's an actual sword. And he knows what this thing could do since it can cut through about anything. As he would dodge, and as he would get ready to throw a one-for-all filled punch to the ground and knock him around. But Deku would see this, as he knows he's probably not going to go 100. So before he does it, Deku would have thrown one-for-all kick, using one pressure to knock back All Might. He would run towards him, using the orbs, with him slamming into All Might, launching him backwards, as his arms would be covered by them, as they would gravitate his arms backwards behind his back. So he would use 100% one fold to move them away from each other. The Deku would take this chance as he would gather up sand and rubble from the kick that he threw to the ground. So he would throw it at All Might. As All Might would take the same thing that Deku did, throwing the smash into the ground, which it would slow down or counter the attack for long enough for him to break out, and then throw 100% kick or punch, destroying it, heading for Deku. As he would dodge, as he would get ready, telling All Might that he'll just use his strongest attack that he can. As he would put his sword down, as his sword would start glowing with that black energy, but it's shaking, sort of how the air around him whenever he uses gravity. That's what Deku would be doing to his sword, shifting gravity and making it heavier on his sword, gathering up sand and rubble to throw one of those slashes. As he would, with All Might being a close-up person and a long-range one, he goes for the close-up attack, which Deku is hoping for. As he would turn around his blade at the last moment, slamming it on Might's shoulder, as All Might would punch him to the side, as Deku would be launched, as his attack would slam into All Might, launching him backwards also, along with him being dragged by his attack. As it would smash All Might through buildings, as Deku would hit the top of the building, using his fingers and hands to grab into the building, stopping himself. All Might would be thrown through them. As it would show All Might's shoulder having his suit ripped in a huge bruise. As Deku would have his hero costume ripped on his side. And it would be declared a win for Deku, since All Might's not responsive right now. And so it would be called tie, I guess. It would be technically him win, since Bakugo can come up to him and handcuff him if he wants to. But Deku would be declared the winner, with him and All Might talking after school, explaining how he turned around his blade and all that. And I'll see some people noticed that on the screen, or noticed that he switched the blade whenever he was throwing his attack. So he has the potential to kill, but every hero has that, even All Might. since if he used 100%, any villain, like a purse robber, he would just smash them into the ground, probably killing them. But, yeah. And so, Deku would just do physical training, focusing on one for all. Try and bump up his percentage. And he would, with it being time for training camp by then. With them going on it, with the Pussycats and all that. I'll say in this time span, Deku found out another quirk. At first he thought it was his telekinesis at work, but it is not. He discovered flow. Whenever he was thinking about that Nomu back there where he could fly, and that if he can use his telekinesis to do that, that would work very well. So he was training it. He would find out that he gained a new quirk, since he would suddenly float whenever he tries to lay down on his bed, not using his telekinesis, since his sword's put away. And so yeah. As one of the Pussycats do knock him down, he would have intentionally activated his quirk. He can't really use it automatically, like he can't activate it on will, but it doesn't always, and sometimes it activates even if he's trying to sit down or like gun on his bed or try to walk off of a staircase and yet suddenly float above them. So yeah. Deku being at 30% one for all, with him noticing at this percentage, he starts buffing up. Whenever he uses it, I'll say this is his regular, like he can stand this, and he can bump it up to 40. And if he really needs to, he can go to 50. But that would cause fractures and all that afterwards. And he has to take a trip to Recover Hero where it would just hurt a lot. So yeah. As he would float down and land on his feet, they would be told to go through. And I would say, Azawa says that Deku's only allowed to use one quirk. And he has to pick one. Which Deku just says, I'll just pick my sword one. Taking it out, touching the ground. And he would only be in the second form. But he would just gather up a whole bunch of it. And it would just be wrapping around him, spinning. As they would run through it. Since Deku can't use one for all to move, he's running at his normal pace, so he would lose stamina if he doesn't pace himself. Which he thinks that's why Zawa said it. So Deku will. He learned how to throw smaller attacks to take down these things, where he doesn't have to waste a huge attack just to take down one of them. So he'd shoot off he would shoot off those discs and orbs at them, taking them down, with crushing their like skull areas. So they would make it through as Deku would be tired, and so they would eat. They would train the whole time, all the way up to the end. With Deku training his float quirk to activate it on command, and how he can fly around with it. As he's also trying to figure out some new ways to throw attacks. And how since his attacks for his like third form or his third gauge. So yeah. As it'd be time for Deku, I totally did not leave this alone for an hour and forgot what I was at. Oh, and did not Okay, yeah, I did. I forgot totally, but I'm pretty sure whenever the villain attack will happen, Deku would use his quirk to allow himself to float, floating himself all the way over to where Koda is. This would be a fight against Muscular. Deku would be able to go to 20% while using his sword. I have to apply this. Actually, I would even put it that he can use his sword at the max power of one for all that he can use. So 30. So with this percentage, Deku can throw wind slashes, but if he wants to throw a stronger attack, he would use the sand. So right now, he's just swinging his sword constantly, cutting into, what was his name? He just stomped in my house, stabbing into Muscular constantly, pushing him back with just swinging his arms around and around. But Muscular would put more muscle and run towards him. Instead, he would put his sword up as he would have dodged him, sliding underneath him, cutting away all his muscles around his wrist. It would cut his actual skin, but Deku says that he needs to go deeper next time. As he would tell Muscular to come at him again. As he would use dust, as he would do it again. As Deku would have cut all the way up his arm. Like, cutting him deep, like his blade fully into him. Cutting him through his muscle. And Deku would put his sword away, saying if Muscular wants to continue. And Muscular would. He would use his muscle to cover his wounds and start punching at Deku. Deku with 30% can dodge. And would throw his fist into his arm that he cut. The shockwave would push back his arm, causing his wound to gush out blood. As Deku says he want to continue, taking out his sword, now cutting his leg. And my thing is kind of, oh my god, people yelling. After that, somebody cussed for another 30 minutes, and they're still. Then I'll go on eating grapes for the next 5 minutes, staring at him for a straight 2 minutes. Yes, it was awkward, but I did it on purpose. To make him know that he was loud. I like grapes. And pineapples. Anything with apple in the name. But, besides the point. But, Deku would cut down his leg, doing the same thing to him, until he would fall down. Deku would win. As he would take it back to, the Pussycats, as he would save them from Spinner and Magni. Once everybody else gets attacked by Compress and all that, and everybody would be captured. As my usual what ifs, everything would go the same. With them getting them back and all that. And they would go through the license exams. Be in the end of season 3 because I don't do season 4 because I think season 4 is kind of trash. Even though I do like the overhaul arc. This is where it ends, so I'm just gonna talk. Just explain this to you guys. I just feel like they could have made it like a whole, Great Shinobi War arc. Like, they could have did so much to it. And people are laughing like hyenas. They're all hyenas to me. Yeah. If you guys ever thought that, I think they rushed the arc too much. But if they didn't rush it, everybody would have, everybody would be more hurt from Mirio and Night Eye than man, people would be actually crying, even though some people do. But if you had more time with them with their quirks and helping out, you would have cried for him like if you're Sasuke for his brother and all that, man. It'd be crazy. Like if um he was like the villain for a whole season, man. At the end of the season, Deku didn't pull out that whole, you know, using airy crap. Instead, he went through a whole training, maybe a time skip, man. Then it was like a fight with him and Bakugo. With Bakugo being protected by him, man. Deku getting hurt. As he would finish him off with plot armor, because people do yell about it, but you can't lie. Whenever plot armor activates, it's epic. And would have socked him in the face. I know, not a million percent. I'll say him unlocking a new percentage, which would be 30% in the case, or 20%, either or. And it would finish him off with Deku ending as a hero. I really, I get they're not trying to focus on like another villain, since they're trying to make Shigaraki the next one for all and all that, or all for one. But I really liked Overhaul's character. He was like that Sting character. He, even though he wasn't there for long, and Sting was only there for like 2 episodes, but he impacted like the whole series because he was a villain with morals. And Endeavor's arc, or Endeavor's like comeback story, I get people didn't like him, but he was like a hero with no morals. Like, he did his best to be the best. As he didn't have morals, he just wanted to do it for the fame and money. As Stain didn't do it for that. He did it to correct the society. I do think Stain's death was fitting, since it does impact the whole villain league, Vanguard action. I don't know what it's called, but there's still a villain league. And if you search up villain league now, it doesn't show up with like the Marvel or whatever. Is it DC universe or is it Marvel? I think it's DC. I'm not sure, but they don't show up anymore. It's like, or is it Justice League? I'm not too good in comics since I'm like 13. Yeah. So, but I do read some, I guess. Hyena, shut your mouth up. Hey, kitty. But yeah, I would think they should have added more time to, if they, I know they still have like a schedule and all that. Think of it like Demon Slayer, since I don't want to do it in the Japanese version of it. If you guys haven't read the manga, it's not really a spoiler, but it's just how the battles go in that anime or manga, where battles are elongated, like the battle between all them pillars and crap. My cat finally meowed on my recording. I'm not crazy. But my cat does meow. Cat, I swear. Hey, chill. Don't scratch your ear out, I swear to God. Stop. My cat's gonna scratch your ear out. But how their battles are all about, you could say it's like the cheesy working together, but it's not like Dragon Ball where they have these epic attacks. Even though I love the colors and animation to their swinging of their swords and all that. But it's not about that. But their battles are long. Like, you guys, their fighting moves on is inevitable. Like, he's gonna fight him soon and all that. So it's not a spoiler, but the chapter, it was laid out through several chapters instead of having 2 chapters and that's done. like the battle's done after that. They went into not so much backstories, but how Muzan's human, of how he reacts and all that. Cat, pet, 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 pet. But peace out, my